Welcome, welcome. It's a date night with Victoria. Okay, so let's have a look and wait for 1 or 2 minutes if more people will join this call. Today we will be talking about the freebie or the free report and if you should have one at your website. And I will demonstrate for you how quickly to create one. So let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes more, just to give a chance for other people to join if they have some technical issues joining this call. Now you are free during this presentation to ask the questions at the chat. Please keep it short and very clear so that it will be easy for me to catch and answer, preferably related to our theme today, to the freebie, to the reports tool in general. You can ask questions. If you have some technical issues, unfortunately, I will not be able to solve them during this presentation. So please reach out to support@bodycraftchat.com, and we will be more than happy to help. Okay, so let's begin. First of all, I want to answer the questions. Quite a few asked what is the difference between the freebie and the lead magnet. And in fact, there is no difference. We're just calling it differently. I realized that across the ocean in the US, Canada, you used to call it more like lead magnet. And maybe here in Europe, customers prefer to call it freebie. The purpose of this report is exactly the same, just to give away something for free that will create a lead. We all know, and probably ourselves, everybody loves freebies and something to keep. It's just natural psychology of the customers. We like to get something for free. We like something to keep rather than just see our own chart on the screen and then now what? But if you get something to download, there is more chance that I will visit your website, invited from your ads or the social media posts or any other places where you're advertising yourself. Now, why we advise to have a freebie at your website? So first of all, that it attracts customers. Another, that it generates the leads. Also, it builds the trust. So you're basically giving something to keep from your website, so it's considered more trustworthy website rather than just showing information that most likely will not stick with me and I will just pass on. Next time I will search at the search engines something general human design, and most likely I will end up at another website. That also, in following the same idea, it builds the relationship. So you kind of locking the customer in with your business. And what do I mean by that? So if you're allowing customers to download a freebie, which will include the chart, later on I will show you and tell you what ideal freebie should include. Um, Customer will have it in their pocket, most likely downloaded at their mobile device. So next time when they will come across to a human design question topic in a party, in the other event, they will say like, oh yes, I have a chat, rather than going and Googling another human design website and probably ending up at something that is maybe ranked higher at the search engines. So you're kind of locking them in because they already have a chart with you. And if the discussion where they are involved, is really deep into human design, they're more likely explore your website further just because they have that freebie, and they will open your shop and other offerings and services that you have listed at your website. So that's another reason why it's a good idea to have a freebie at your website. And then last but not least, as I used to call the freebie, it's like a window to your soul. And based on a freebie, customers will decide if they resonate with you, if they like the way you deliver human design for the customers, and based most on that freebie and the energy that you will put through those words will make the customer to decide if they want to purchase the or pay the reports, if they want to actually schedule the meeting with you. So you giving a little bit of taste what they're going to get if they purchase the paid report or schedule a meeting with you. So that is like an opening window, you know, for customer, the invitation to your own energy. Now, what it's supposed to include. I know that quite few of you have a freebie, just a chart and maybe a summary page of the properties, and it's okay to have that as a freebie, but I suggest to give it a little bit more, not too much though, but just a little bit more. And ideally, that would be just, for example, type description. Let's be honest, as the human design readers or astrology readers, you know that it's more than enough to be, you know, shocked when you discover your type or when you know in depth your zodiac sign, for instance. So ideal information at the freebie would be exactly that. Probably the customer's chart, the summary of the properties, so that if they choose to come back to that freebie, they will see, you know, what's the type is, what the definition is, you know, so summary of the properties, it's a good idea, or summary of the planetary placements for the astrology. And for the human design, it would be maybe a type page, you know, that describes the type. And for astrology, maybe a zodiac sign page. And then the last page would be the invitation to schedule a meeting with you, or the page that invites to purchase your another paid services. So that's the introduction about the freebie. Now let's go and create one. So I will share the screen with you. Mind you that this is my testing account, so it's a little bit messy. Let's pretend that I just started with Bodygraph Chat. The integration is done, newsletter connected, and now I want to offer something for free for my customers. So we'll go to Reading Reports tool. Let's just say I have nothing there, so we'll start absolutely from scratch. Let's say freebie. I will use English language, my preferred A4 format, and here we are. I have a blank page. I would always suggest to have a cover page that represents your branding and something memorable to have, you know, for customers to remember you. Everything matters, basically, the fonts, the color scheme, and so on. So either you can use the templates if you have a cover page prepared somewhere else, for instance, at Canva or any other platform already designed, and any elements that you have designed, please download them and upload to your brand kit. That will help you very quickly to prepare freebies, and that will assist you in definitely building your paid reports. So you can upload your logos. These are my testing logos, branding colors, any photos that you usually use at your business, at your website, and then move on to creating a freebie. So let's start with the cover page. You know, you can use some page templates if you like, but I will make it hard way. I'm Profile 35. I like it hard way. I like to experiment, you know. So let's start with the cover page. Let's say I will use one of the available frames, then maybe include one of my brand kit images, but I want it to be cropped off. So I'll use the frame that maybe will fit into this shape. And then I will use one of the images from my brand kit, hover over, and that's ready. Then I will use the text box, say free type report, and then for, oops, I will not edit the fonts and so on, but definitely you can go further and definitely edit the fonts to your branding fonts. For me, the idea is just to demonstrate how to create it, and then I will use the shortcode just to bring in the customer's first name so it's more customized. And here you are, I have a cover page. Not ideal, probably. I could do better, obviously, by preparing and changing the fonts and preparing probably the background color or whatever, but let's just say I have a cover page. Now move on to the next page. As I said, it's always a good idea to include a chart. So if you have your chart prepared, you can include it as the complete chart or as the separate elements, maybe just a standalone chart, and the planets if you don't want to include the variables. And again, that is the page that probably where I would include the short codes again about the customer's full name, the place of birth, and date of birth. Now, why is it a good idea to have this on the report? If something goes wrong and customer typed in incorrect details, so they will have a chance to double check and notice that the details on the report are incorrect, and most likely that a report is incorrect for the customer. So it's always a good idea to actually include the place of birth and date of birth for customer to double check those details. So I have a chart page ready. Now, if this freebie will be created for astrology, exactly the same process. I will create the page with the astrology chart. And again, I will include the short codes to bring in the full name of the customer, place of birth, and date of birth, just to double check the details. Obviously, you can work on with the background colors. If you will click on the page itself, you can change the background colors. You can make the beautiful background, for instance, out of any kind of image, if you like, set up as a background. So it can be way more customized, but I'm just creating right now simple report. So this is the chart page, whether you're creating for freebie for the human design or for the astrology. Next page, I would suggest, as I mentioned, to have a summary page. Now, the good thing is that we have quite good templates for the summary pages, so you don't need to recreate it yourself. Just click in, maybe obviously adjust the fonts to your branding fonts. And if you don't like the color of the background, just highlight them and change it to something that matches your branding, and it's all done. And it's same for the astrology. We have the planetary placements page template, which you can include. Once again, click on something that it does not match your branding color and change it to match your branding color. Obviously, again, you can include the background images, the illustrations of your choice to make it beautiful, but that's the page number 3 that we suggest to have a summary page. And now we're coming to the content. Now, for the type, and I suggested to have a type, it can include more information. It can be including the type and profile and authority as a freebie. The more you will give, don't be fair that people will discover just the type, profile, and authority, and they will leave at that point and not schedule the meeting with me. That's wrong thinking, simply because you're providing more information for them. So even if you will give a type and profile, they will see that there is still authority, strategy, not self, and what the hell that means. So obviously, at some point, they will come back and say, okay, I want to find out more. And freebies were definitely not enough. right? So, but the type is more than enough actually to have, because it's quite eye-opening. Now, to build the type page, I can do it in two ways. Either to utilize the shortcode, and let's say your type is, and then I will use the shortcodes because I'm using English language. So that will bring from my content the description about the type. So I can bring in the type. I will add it second time and right now choose to show this description. So this one will bring up the label from my content, which will show me either generator, manifesting generator, projector, reflector, or the description related to the type. So this is one way to create one page to the type. And it has the content. If you're using the English language or German language or the language that we have at my content that already has the descriptions. Now, the other way, let's just say I don't have, or let's say I'm working on my own content. It's not ready, it's not systemized, it's not quite ready to actually use for the freebie, but I want to release the freebie as quick as possible. Well, then there is a way to cheat because Bodygraph Chat provides quite good information, which is included at the Midnight Dunes. So let's cheat a little bit. I will install, again, same format that I'm building the freebie with. And what can I actually do? I can either copy paste the information or I can export the pages, right? That will download the page for me. And then I will go to my freebie. And now I will have to create the blank page for each type and import that page that I have for the type and set the visibility accordingly for each type. So I will not obviously right now take out all the type pages, but you get my idea. It has already content, it's ready. All I have to do, maybe again, include some images, set as a background, something that I use to, but the content is there and ready. I just took it from another report that has the content and it's Midnight Tune. So I will do exactly the same for each type, for manifesting generator, for manifestor, and so on, for types. So the two ways, either shortcode or prepare the page for each type. And the quickest way to get the content is actually export it from the Midnight Dunes and import it into Freebie to get those pages ready for the type. Now for the astrology, I would suggest to maybe use either the template. Let me see if we have any templates. I don't think that we see. If you will purchase the premium report that is for the astrology, then you could possibly use the page that includes the zodiac sign, for instance. So that's more than enough to actually provide, or you can use exactly same approach as we used for the type with the shortcodes and say your astrology type is at the title, and then use the shortcode to bring in astrology, let's say zodiac sign. And again, include second time to bring in the description. Once again, this information will come into the report if the language or the freebie that you creating attached to this freebie actually has the descriptions of my content. You can change the language at the settings at any time. And you can also, if you're building and using shortcuts, you can go to my content to that specific language that is attached to your freebie and edit the content, add the content, do whatever you want with the content. But as long as there is the content, then your freebie will bring up the information for the specific type or for the specific zodiac sign. So that would be the zodiac sign page to bring up the information. And then the last page, I would suggest to actually have an invitation. Either I would call it an upsales or booking page. So here you can actually, again, build something with your branding, maybe include your logo somewhere just to make sure that it's branded. And then you can say something, okay, so now that you know, let's say include a text and say, so now that you know your type, if you're talking about the freebie for the human design, so now that you know your type, would you like to put it in practice in your life, or would you like to find out more? And then I will include the schedule the meeting with me text. Okay, and then add link to my either Calendly or Zoom booking calendar. And same for the astrology, you can say, so now that you know your zodiac sign, would you like to find out more, and what other zodiac planet placements means in your life, and how to actually use that in your life to, navigate through your life. And then again, include the link to schedule a meeting with me. Okay, so now I created quite messy freebie. It can be both. If you do human design and astrology readings together, this is an example that we created freebie that includes both. But maybe rather than having, human design astrology, I would have pages that have human design all together, and then astrology all together, and then one page to book the meeting with me. So it's just a little bit different order. So it can be freebie for both if that's what you focus on, and you can mix and match on one freebie, or it can be two separate files if you would like to build it separately and give a chance to actually download two different reports, freebies for your customer. So now we can go and test it with my testing date of birth, and it pulls up for me my chart and it gives for me my summary. As you can see, it pulls up my natal chart with my details, my planetary placements. Now, because I'm generator, so it pulled up for me the generator's description here, and same, I'm Aquarius, so it pulled up my Aquarius description from my content, and this would be the clickable link that I talked about to actually schedule a meeting, and nice, persuasive, and very beautiful invitation to actually schedule the meeting with me. So that's the content of the freebie that I suggest to use. Now, when we have a freebie ready, the last and very important step is to make it live at your website. Now, if you're using the business website, that means that you can actually link it to your products. And the way I like to work, this is the tip for you. I like to actually open the body graph chart on one tab, dashboard on another, and my live website on the third page. So it actually helps me quickly navigate through the tools to the report tool, to the dashboard where the products are, and actually check how it looks at the result page. So that's a quick tip how to work with business website in general. So now that I have the freebie ready, I will need to create the payment app that is called business website. I already have that done previously. So what I need to do is just to attach that payment method to the freebie. Since it's free, I will set the price to 0 and give it a currency. Still have to select a currency. And once it's done, I will go to my products. I have here product already created just because I want to save time, but you can click add new product, and then you will be able to give it a name, a nice description, upload the image. But the most important setting will be that you need to give a general price exactly the same as you gave it previously at your reports tool, 0 for freebie, and then link it with the freebie and then publish it. that will be automatically listed at your shop. If I will reload it, it should actually upload with my photo. I don't know what's wrong with my photo. Okay, so it does not show me a photo, but that it should be linked right now with my freebie. Now, with the business website, it's slightly different rather than integration. Integration, customers have an option to instantly download the freebie when they generate the chart. Now, the business website is built that way that both free and paid reports have to go through the checkout process. But again, another tip, and there is always a way around it. Maybe you want to keep at the shop only paid reports, and you can create another page, just exactly that I did here. I added another page and embedded the chart. And then what I did, I enabled the freebie at my embed code. So that would be how to make the live your freebie add the embed code. What does it mean? That means that I can create the embed code that will have either freebie enabled as a downloadable PDF or as a report. Now let me check. I have to remove right now the payment method because for the embed code it's not going to work. For the embed codes, it has to stay free without any payment methods attached. And then I will enable freebie here. And then let's go and generate right now that integrated chart of mine. Let's probably reload just to make sure that it picks up the new updates that I just did on my embed code. And let's generate a chart. And then it will show for me a freebie listed under the chart. Now, as you know, with the recent updates, we have an option as well to upload the thumbnail. So that means at the reading reports settings, I can upload the beautiful image, which will be demonstrated next to add the widget of the report. Also, you have an option to actually list the report widget above the chart rather than below the chart. So that will increase the visibility of the freebie. So now at the embed code, if you will enable a freebie as the PDF download, that will become available under this button. But if you will enable freebie as the reading report, that will become available as a widget. And this way, freebie will go live to your website, which we just built. Or as I suggesting, and this is extra tip for the business website to work around and avoid checkout for the freebie, is just to set up the extra page, add the pages. That's exactly what I did. Created new page and created the content, get freebie, embedded the chart in here, and enabled a freebie for customers to instantly download and not to have to provide the private details such as bank card details, the billing address, because why would you want to do that for freebie, right? And obviously, don't forget that if you want, this is the important part of the freebie, if you want to collect the leads, you need to make sure that your chart has, my one does not have, I did not enable just yet, but it has to be connected to the newsletter platform and email field enabled at the design tool. So that means that when you're inviting customers to this dedicated page for the freebie, you will get the leads, emails of the customers when they will generate the chart and download the freebie. So that's the full process of the freebies and my suggestions of how to actually build ideal freebie for human design and astrology. Now I will stop sharing my screen and I will see if there is anything at the chat. Nothing at the chat. Okay. Do you have any questions? So I think that you have an ability to either unmute yourself, because that's what I gave permissions when I scheduled this meeting, or you can actually write the question at the chat related to the freebie or to the reading report. Thank you very much. How do you get a replay of this webinar? Okay, we'll share the screen again with you. Okay, so we have a new place that is called Business Mastery Hub. So if you will access the Business Mastery Hub, most likely you will find it listed under tutorials. Just give it a couple of days actually to edit it and prepare. And also at our YouTube channel. So if you will go to our YouTube channel, you will be able to find the listing as well. Again, it might take a couple of days for us to actually edit it and prepare it and make it live and available for you to access and rewatch it and follow the steps to create your ideal freebies. Any more questions for me? You can unmute yourself. It's a date night, don't you forget. Thank you so much for great feedback. Okay, I see there is no questions. It was pleasure to actually, no, I can't say meet you. I didn't see you. You have no cameras off. But thank you very much. Oh, someone unmuted. Is a question coming? So we have Black Friday offer for new customers, but we do not have any Black Friday offers. We might, I don't know, yet if we have any sales on the premium reports or anything like that. But if you're relating to any discounts for existing customers, that's not what I'm aware of. But there was just a invitation for new customers to join at the discounted price. Okay. Okay. Yes, Rochelle, is that correct? Yes, go ahead and create your freebie. And as I said previously, yes, if you have any questions, if something that you struggle with while you're creating freebie or you cannot figure out, please send us a live chat message or reach out to support at Bodegraph Chat, and we will be happy to assist. Okay, I see no more questions coming. Okay, how to build the business website. The business website articles are available at the Help Center. So if you will access our Bodegraph Chart Help Center, we have entirely dedicated group of articles that explains how to connect the payment methods, how to edit colors, how to edit pages, and all sorts of the information related to the business website that will help you to actually customize it to your branding and to your needs. All right, so thank you very much again for joining. It was a pleasure, and I will see you next week on to the next webinar. If you will go to our main bodycraftchat.com website and head to the webinars listing, you will see upcoming webinars. I listed all upcoming webinars. I will be running these webinars every week right now on Wednesdays, where I will be showing one or the other feature or some tips or tricks. So feel free to register for upcoming webinars or follow up on the recordings at our Business Mastery Hub. Now enjoy your day, your morning, your night, whatever is left for you. For me, it's an evening, so I probably will go to my pajamas and sleep very soon. And pleasure and enjoy, and best of luck building your freebies. Bye-bye.